What's going on, guys? My name's Spoon, and today I'll be showing you why level 15 and 17 are the most important levels in Escape from Tarkov right now. So you all know how the Flea Market has been moved to level 20 as a requirement, and that might seem like a very daunting task. It's double the level and about 4 times more XP required to get there. But it doesn't actually matter all that much, as the gear you will want to be running in the early game is actually unlocked a lot earlier than level 20. So let's look at the traders and their levels. The first trader you should receive level 2 in will be Therapist, with a required level of 13, reputation level of 0.15, and a minimum trade value of 400,000 rubles. If we have a look at what she has to offer for level 2, it's not going to be worth all that much to us, with pretty much everything being a barter item now aside from the Scav Junk Box, which has been moved to level 1. Quick note, the Scav Junk Box is very much so worth purchasing if you have the extra cash floating around. Next up for level 2 will be Peacekeeper, with a required level of 14, reputation of 0, and a minimum trade value of over 11,000 US dollars. If you're struggling with the trade value for Peacekeeper, keep in mind that there is an early game quest called Friend from the West Part 2. In that quest you are required to hand over $6,000 in cash in one hit, so you may want to just buy $6,000 straight off him. Purchasing the currency counts towards the trade value as well. So let's look at what Peacekeeper has to offer for level 2. Straight away you're going to notice the optics. Peacekeeper has a couple of amazing holo sights, available at level 2 straight away with the EOTech XPS 3-0 and the EOTech 553. But something you may not have noticed is that you can buy a 9mm MPX for $394 and also an RFB for $485. Both of these guns are amazing early for different purposes. MPX for full auto sprays in close quarters, and the RFB as more of a DMR. It's worth noting that the RFB will cost you a lot to run, as ammo is not cheap at $3 per round, and the rifle is best paired with an assault scope, which isn't readily available at level 2 traders. Other noteworthy additions are the NVG bracket and the various handguards available for modding, including the MP5 SD polymer handguard, alongside the HK MP5 SD upper receiver and the MP5 SD 9x19 silencer, all of which are required for Gunsmith Part 3. Moving on to level 15 with Prapor, we can get level 2 with him by having a reputation rank of 0.2 and a minimum trade value of 750,000 rubles. Prapor has some of the best unlocks for a level 2 trader, stepping up his game by offering you a load of rifles and various attachments that are amazing for early Tarkov. First off, we're going to be looking at his rifles. Prapor will now offer to sell you things like an AK-74N and other variants for roughly 35 to 40,000 rubles. It's worth noting that the 74N, when purchased, comes with a full round of BP ammunition inside of it as well. Next up with Prapor, we have a reliable way to purchase a 7.62 x 39 rifle with the AKM at 43,000 rubles and the AKMS at 41,800. The last gun from Prapor worth looking at is actually a barter, and that's going to be for the SV98. This isn't particularly worth buying just on its own. However, if you die while doing the Peacekeeper mission of fishing gear, where you need to place a SV98 in a specific location on shoreline, and happen to lose your SV98 that's required for the mission, this is an easy way to get another one with a barter trade for 5 Apollon and 3 Marlboro cigarette packets. Next up for Prapor we have his ammunition. The only noteworthy addition here is the PP ammo for the 5.45 variant AKs. This ammo performs surprisingly well with stats very similar to its BP and BT counterparts. Also, Prapor now offers a trade for an RGD grenade for 1 energy saving light bulb. Lastly for Prapor, he has a lot of attachments ready for you to buy, however we are only going to be looking at a couple. First off, the recoil pad. For only 3,500 rubles, this thing gives you amazing stats of -5 recoil and +2 ergonomics, making it a great addition to any rifle it fits on. Second is the TT01 or the Weaver adapter. This bad boy fits directly onto where the rear sight for an AK usually mounts. This removes the need to purchase a Bastion dust cover from skier level 1 when wanting to mount a smaller optic. It's also worth noting that doing this as opposed to the Bastion cover will move the sight forward, providing a different field of view. Lastly, for Prapper we have the 60 round AK mag for a trade of 1 thermostat, and the Valday 1 to 6 times assault scope for 2 vodkas and 1 MRE. Next up we've got Skier. This man is the go-to for your attachments with everything from MVGs to pistol grips. But what's worth buying? Well, obviously the MVG is worth it if you're running nighttime raids, coming in at a cost of 32,000 rubles. This needs to be paired with the adapter at a cost of 2,600 rubles, and also the TATM mount from Peacekeeper for $40. Then it can be mounted to helmets that have the hardware for it. Moving on from the NVGs, we've got a couple more sights with the Nipple Sight and the Hollow Sun available. The Barris Fastfire is available to you from Mechanic Level 1, and as such is not a new unlock, but you can buy it here for rubles instead of dollars if you so desire. Skier Level 2 also has a couple of new guns for sale, mostly looking at the STM-9 if you want a high ergonomics 9mm DMR. Here's one for only 44,000 rubles. But back to attachments, Skier has the PT locks available for AK variants to attach different stocks to them. Not only that, but he also sells the PT1 Classica stock, which is an amazing addition to a standard AK. Lastly, he sells a few foregrips, the best being the RK4 in my opinion, with an ergonomics buff of 4 and a -2 recoil reduction. But the main thing that you will want from Skier Level 2 is this right here, the Zenit DTK1 muzzle brake for the 545 AK variant. Providing a massive -13% recoil with only a -2 ergonomics penalty, this thing slaps pretty hard. Now for standard accounts you most likely won't have Jaeger Level 2 unlocked at level 15, however for the EODs out there, you can pick up some amazing things from Jaeger if you have it unlocked. CMS kits available for 33,000 rubles, a Monstrum 2x optic at 31,000, a Pia KO6, which is a garbage sight now, it's quite bad, for 11,000 rubles, the Burris TAC 30 scope and the 30mm mount it requires for a combined 37,000 rubles. However, the real bonus to having Jaeger at level 2 is that you can purchase fuel directly here for your hideout for only 157,000 rubles. So that covers everything up to level 15. The last thing we want to look at is level 17. So the very last trader we need to talk about is going to be Ragman, having his level 2 trader requirements moved up from level 15 to level 17 this wipe. It's not much of a change, but it certainly changes the loadout once you unlock this. For Ragman, there are only 3 specific items that you want. These are going to be the Contact 2s, giving you a good option for increasing your hearing in raid at a cost of 29,000 rubles. Secondly is going to be the new backpack called the Pillbox, coming in at a cost of 24,000 rubles. This gives you the same storage space as the Berkut or the Scab backpack, but is a lower profile backpack. Lastly, the most important item from a level 2 trader is going to be from Ragman, the 6B3TM armor. This amazing armored rig provides you with 12 storage slots, level 4 armor protection to the thorax and stomach, and only costs 50,000 rubles. Arguably the best value for armor in the entire game. So now that we've covered everything that you will want from level 2 traders, let's jump into some of the kits that you can buy from them. First off, we're going to be looking at the AKs and seeing what we can make from all of the attachments and things available to us at level 2. So here we have 2 standard AKs. As you can see, they are 44 ergonomics and 96 vertical recoil. I've just bought these 2 directly from Prapper for 40,000 each. Now we have some mods around them to create 2 variations of the same rifle and see how they turn out. We've got everything we could need, and the first one has been built for a total cost of 116,969 rubles. The second one was built for a total cost of 102,536 rubles. Both of these prices include converting dollars into rubles through Peacekeeper. The first build achieving 59 ergonomics and 66 vertical recoil, while the second build only achieving 50 ergonomics and 66 recoil. A lot of the variation has to do with the stock choice between these 2 gun builds. Now that we've covered rifles, let's look at armor choices and what they cost. This is going to be pretty standard with not much variation. First off, to purchase the 6B3TM for 50,000 rubles, then the pillbox for 24,000, a set of contact 2s for 29, and the SSH helmet for 22, coming in to a total of 126,076 rubles. So coupled with a solid AK build alongside backup ammo and meds, standard kit will cost you only 250,000 rubles. For something so incredibly solid and hard hitting, this is amazing value. Thanks for checking out my video on Escape from Tarkov. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below and consider subscribing for more content in the future.